You can make copies of objects in Illustrator, and I'll start the demonstration by placing an object in our scene. Okay, so I have this object and I want to make copies of it. There's several different ways to do this. The first way would be to engage the selection tool, so click on the black arrow and then click on the object. Okay, once you have that selected, you can go to the Edit menu and choose Copy. And at this point, the software has this memorized. Notice we don't see the copy right away. We have to paste it in order to see the copy. So you'd go to Edit and choose Paste. And now you can see the copy. And since it's still memorized, we can say Edit Paste as many times as we'd like and make as many copies as we'd like. Edit, Paste. You can also use keystrokes or shortcuts to copy and paste. So if I have an object like this and I want to copy and paste it, instead of going to the Edit menu and choosing Copy, I can just look off to the right and get the code here and use that instead. So in other words, if I click on this and then I hold Control on my keyboard, and while I'm holding Control, I hit the letter C, it also makes a copy of this item. If I go under the Edit menu and I look at Paste, I can see that the keystroke for that is Control plus V. So if I come over here and I hold Control on my keyboard and then hit the letter V, I can see that it pasted a copy. So Control V, Control V, Control V, and you can do that several times and then make several copies. Another approach you can take, and probably a more efficient approach, is to select the item and then hold Alt on your keyboard. And while you're holding Alt, click and drag the item, and it'll make copies of it. As long as you're holding Alt, it'll continue to make copies. As soon as you let go of Alt, that feature's disengaged. Okay, so another thing too is if you want to make copies of your item but keep them in line with the original, you can snap to 45-degree angles. In other words, I can keep it perfectly in line this way, or I can go this way. The way I do that is I make sure everything's deselected by clicking off of it, or I can under Select, I can choose Deselect. So with everything deselected, I can now hold Alt, Control, and Shift all at the same time. And with those three keys held down, if I click and drag it, you'll notice that it stays in line. And it'll allow me to snap to 45-degree angles like this or this, but it won't allow me to just place it anywhere. And then when I let go of the mouse, it makes the copy. You can also choose to cut instead of copy. So if I have an object and I go to the Edit menu and I choose Cut, which by the way the shortcut is Control X, then the original selection disappears. And it's still memorized by the software, and I can still bring it back by saying Edit Paste. But it's just a different approach. And it comes in handy when you're working on something and there's an object in your way. You can simply cut it and then bring it back at a later time. You can also tell it where to paste it. So if I have this object and I've got it on this side of the page and I say Edit Cut, if I just say Edit Paste, it just pastes it to the center of the screen. So it doesn't matter where I am. If I'm down here working and I say Edit Paste, it just goes to the center of the screen every time. Well, what if I want to paste it exactly where it came from? Well, then I can say Edit Paste in Front, and it pastes it right where it came from. And Edit Paste in Back works also, only the arrangement's a little different. The Paste in Back sends the item all the way to the back as far as the arrangement goes, and Paste in Front brings it all the way to the front.